Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Afro News at Noon, where we give you a bite-sized taste of news that you can use. I am DC and digital editor Misha Green, and I am so happy to be with some of the editorial crew. We don't y'all see we're missing our news editor Jessica, but we have Rev and Megan holding it down as always. How are y'all doing today?
I'm wonderful.
Great. At the same time, we're all great.
That is wonderful and great that you all are doing so well this Monday, this marvelous Monday. So we have a lot to talk about today. We always do a weekend wow. Rev said that I have to ensure that I share mine. So I will say that I had the opportunity to go out of the country over the weekend to Jamaica for a friend's 30th, and I'd had some family tragedy as well as some Afro tragedy, and so I was able to take my mom, who has been through the ringer this year, and that was such a blessing as well. So that was my weekend wow, to be around our peoples in a different country and learn from them. I got to talk to some folks about discrimination there and what it looks like. And a lot of people said it's not as much racism as you find classism. So there are, various races within Jamaica. You'll see white people, you'll see Asian people, you'll see people who you'd assume come from places of, Spanish speaking countries, etc. And so everyone's there, but there's a lot more division by class than by race, according to the folks that I talked to. So it was wonderful to have that cultural exchange and eat the food and be in warm weather. The DMV has snow scheduled for Wednesday, so I am thankful for that. Anybody else have a weekend wow? You might not top the island of Jamaica, man.
Yeah, I can't top that. I did visit a friend. She's still in college, so I went to visit her at school and I had a fun time, but not the same as Jamaica. And it was definitely very cold here this weekend.
Oh man, but visiting friends keep you warm. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sure. What about you, Rev?
I told you, Misha. My
Sorry.
my weekend my weekend while was having my first ever flu shot. How about that?
Yes, that's major. That is major, and we celebrate that. We celebrate that for sure. Congratulations, Rev. So I guess that's a perfect transition into what we're talking about next, which is all that's going on with the development of coronavirus. And it's here in Maryland. Is that correct, Rev?
Yeah, I actually checked earlier and it's been like 3 days since it was first reported that we have three cases in Maryland, all of them in Baltimore, and there has not been an update that I could find. So we're still holding with Omicron, but we don't know what we're dealing with. And so the best we can do is to be safe and to be cautious, to get all of our shots that we can get, booster coming tomorrow, and do the best we can.
Absolutely. I got my booster and flu shot last week, and I have to tell people I thought it was going to be a lot harder to do. I had it scheduled for another location, and the day and time did not allow for me to go where I was going, and so I had to go to CVS for something else. And I said, let me just go ahead and ask if they'll do it. And they took me as a walk-in, and
Mhm.
with insurance, it was free. I'm not positive how that goes without. But I do know that it was not long at all before I was filling out my forms and in the chair getting my shot. I probably waited 3 to 5 minutes for the paperwork to process. So um, I go through a lot of CVS. This is by no means an ad or an endorsement. However, let me make that very clear. See, you know how they say so places owe you nothing? CVS owes me a lot. However, it was very easy to do that there, and I will endorse that for those who might want to go ahead and just try their luck at going and showing up for a walk-in appointment.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
Do-
So, Red, I know you had news of the week. Did you want to
Yeah,
share that?
yeah, I just wanted to share. We always want people to go to our website because we're posting stories all day, every day, stories about everything, whether it's local news or national or international news. We try to keep abreast of what our folks are doing. But a reminder that during this season of the year, even though for the last couple of years we've had an uptick, this is a time of year when bills come due and people get stressed because they can't buy the things they would love to buy for their children and their families and everything. And so once again, we come into a season where domestic violence sort of overtakes our families oftentimes. So we do have an article up by Malika, our women's health writer, about domestic violence. And it's not just sort of staying in it, but showing how one person got out and what they have done as a result of it. But it's a reminder to us to keep our eyes open, our ears open, because not only do couples participate in domestic violence, and children get hurt in domestic violence, but our seniors are often hurt in domestic violence. And now that I've become a woman of a certain age, when I go to the doctor, they will often ask me, "Is anybody hitting you?" And I'm like, I wish somebody would try to hit me, but that made me aware that there are people who are being hurt by their families and their caretakers. So during the season, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. If you feel like you're so mad you want to hit somebody, walk away, leave the house, do whatever you can do to stay safe and keep everybody around you safe. Megan, what are you writing about this week?
Last week I had the opportunity to speak with Tracy Williams Dillard, who the Afro is connected with through Small Business Revolution, which is a TV series by Deluxe. Their sixth season was released last month, and Tracy Williams Dillard is the third generation publisher of the Minnesota Spokesman Recorder. Her grandfather, I believe, started the paper in 1934. It's actually like the oldest Black and minority owned business in the state of Minnesota. And basically, they got chosen for a small business revolution, and they kind of got some extra support. They were struggling before trying to get more of a digital audience. And as we know, with local journalism, it can be kind of hard to keep the paper going, keep the doors open. And she was struggling before, but she was picked for Small Business Revolution. She was teamed up with our publisher, Miss Draper, and she got some advice with media strategy and like applying for grant for extra revenue and things like that. So I got to speak with her about her journey with that show and her relationship with Miss Draper.
Sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I loved the episode. So, guys, check out the episode too. It'll have you in tears and laughing and smiling in the whole nine. And you can catch that on Hulu and Amazon Prime, I believe. So make sure you check that out. So I'll share some news, changing the note a bit on Wednesday, December 1st. The Afro lost a true gem to our family. Mr. Edgar Allen Brookins was the general manager and circulation manager for the Washington Afro for a number of years. I personally got to work with him closely for the past over 3.5 years, and it has been a treat because he is and was and is, I should say, truly just a gift from God, and a dedicated and passionate soldier and servant. And until his last days, literally, he was checking in and working and serving the Afro in several organizations that he was involved in and leading and doing. And so we just want to remember him in so many ways. And one of the ways we're asking is by having all of you submit your favorite Mr. DC Edgar Brookins stories. He was everywhere. That's why he has the name Mr. DC. And so I know you all have a story. I looked today just at the article that I wrote, and about in the article that former editor Taliba wrote. And both, first of all, I have to say Taliba's piece just was so beautiful and so fitting for the man that Mr. Brookins was. But I have to say that between our two articles, we've had more than 10,000 eyes on them. And I think that just is a testament to who Mr. Edgar Brookins, Mr. DC was and is. So I can't talk long about him because I will get very emotional. So I'm going to let Rev take over on that and share with you all what we need, as well as how you all can celebrate his life.
Well, we are Africans, and Africans understand that life is always ongoing. And so it is our sacred duty to remember those who have touched our lives in such miraculous ways as Mr. Brookins has done. He has been a kind person, a person who worked hard, but always took the time to acknowledge the work and the achievement of the people around him. And so that was one of the things that made him such a great gift to us. And we would like it if you would send us your memories of Mr. DC. We had something in the paper about him last week, but we want to continue our tribute this week. So if you have something you would like to say, something you would like us to remember, please send it today to editor@afro.com so we can have it in time for publication. It'll be great to have it online, but families like to have something they can hold on to and cherish. So please do that as soon as you can. And for those who want to know about the arrangements, there will be a homegoing celebration for him on Saturday, the 18th, and it will be held at in Fort Myer, Virginia. And I can't see the name of the place because my eyes are old. Um, it's a memorial chapel on McNair Road in Fort Myer, Virginia. And for those who need more detailed information, you can check out our Afro page on Facebook. It's on our website on afro.com. And you can also reach out to us at editor at afro.com if you need more information. But there will be that celebration as we continue to celebrate him ourselves through our tears, but remembering his greatness and thanking God for him being with us for quite a while. Misha?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that. And for those who have already reached out, we've received your pictures and we appreciate it. Keep them coming. We definitely want to remember Mr. Brookins, and we thank you for you helping celebrate his memory. And we just want to keep that legacy alive. So I think it's time to wrap up. We always want to give you, like we say, bite-sized taste of the news. So if you want to get more of what we have to offer, go to www.afro.com, or you can become a subscriber by texting 410-936-5002 and become a subscriber to the Afro American newspapers, where you can get our legacy edition or tap in to all that we have online digitally. And without further ado, I think we are going to say ta-ta until next time.
See you next Monday.
See you next Monday.